The challenges in getting a drug to market really haven't changed in the last 25 or 30 years. You've got so many phases that you have to pass through and something can go wrong, and it just takes so long to navigate through all of those phases too, and there's a huge cost that comes with that. So you've got billions of dollars of risk spread out over 10 to 15 years with no guarantee that you actually might get an approved drug at the end of that.
The CRO industry hasn't really changed in its siloed approach since the 1960s, but we've seen the drug industry has changed. And the way that the small to mid-sized biopharmas particularly are approaching drug development means that using the older-fashioned way, the original way of progressing the drugs, means it takes longer, which means it costs more time and is less efficient.
CROs tend to focus on one specific area, and they have an expertise, a certain niche, and that's all they do. So you're very good at working in this certain niche area, but what happens to that drug when it passes to the next phase? That's a challenge if you're a sponsor. You have to work with many, many different CROs to get the drug through to final regulatory approval. At Altasciences, we're really challenging the status quo and disrupting the traditional CRO model.
Many years can be spent in developing a new drug. And once you've got the new molecule, you've then got to see how it can be structured to be the most likely to be successful in that particular therapeutic indication. So that's when you get to lead candidate selection. Starts off, you can have 10,000, 100,000 compounds. And the key is to bring that number down to 4 or 5. And out of that comes 1 or maybe 2 compounds. That then goes into preclinical studies. And this is really the essence of what Altasciences is, because the key piece is getting it from choosing something that you think will work in man, getting it through the preclinical studies to demonstrate the safety and the dose levels, purely to demonstrate the dose levels that will be safe in humans. You take a fraction of that safe dose level and you dose in small groups of humans, single doses and multiple doses. When you've established that safety, then you will go into a phase 2 study, which will be a small number of patients.
Altasciences helps sponsors expedite the research and development by providing the full-service, integrated, end-to-end solution that can help clients bring their molecule from lead candidate selection all the way through to proof of concept clinical trials and beyond.
I've been in clinical practice for just over 30 years now. That wealth of clinical knowledge that I've been able to build over the years, just working and being so actively involved, has been able to translate that here at Altasciences when we look at trials that come in, or looking at protocols, just being able to integrate the basic science and how that translates well into how we execute on a clinical trial. My priorities are really to make sure that we are running clinical trials as safely as possible.
It's really about non-stop communication and having built the systems and processes to be able to manage all of these different studies and programs that are ongoing and get to the deliverable faster.
We built our whole structure as a company in order to be fully integrated, and that came from the customer feedback. And we still, to this day, are continuously improving the services we offer based on customer surveys, based on touch points. Our customers are actually the ones that are helping us innovate and get better and better at what we do.
We want to work closely with the customer. We want them to feel that we're part of their team and they're part of our team. And so what we did with Altasciences is not just about integrating the drug development process, but it's about one contract, one team, single point of contact.
We base all of our processes and all of our approaches on a single team effort and an integrated platform. And so a lot of our focus has been on how do we create a structure that one encourages that culture of collaboration and integration, and then how do we also provide the tools to our teams in order to allow them to work together.
We have clients where we may be performing just standalone services, and we have clients where we're performing an entire program of work all the way from the CDMO, drug formulation, through to preclinical and then through to clinical proof of concept.
There's a lot of demand for early drug development, and I think we're being recognized for what we do. We're seeing more and more new clients come in. and they've heard by word of mouth of what we can do. We've seen clients move from their traditional large CRO sort of safety zone and come to ours because what they value is that close attention, that integrated approach, and the reduction in time. Everybody wants to do it faster, more effectively, without compromising safety.
What's the impact of having that one-stop shopping, if you want to call it? The fact that the data is all within one organization, it certainly helps. But the transition from preclinical to clinical, et cetera, is also much easier for the sponsor. So at the end of the day, the sponsor gets a program that will cost less, transition quicker, simply because of the communications between the different departments within our company. So it's really managed very seamlessly, very well. Once we're reviewing a protocol that's complex and we're trying to decipher some of the preclinical data, not unusual to call one of our experts in preclinical and to get their input. And so it gives us that opportunity, within minutes to pick up the phone and speak to someone, as opposed to trying to connect to a company that we don't know, someone you don't know, and don't know what their value is to bring into the trial. Seeing the drug from the preclinical phase to clinical, and then transitioning to the patient, and then the effectiveness to the patient, the life-saving, they're changing. Saving someone's life is the most gratifying thing that you can see.
We're working on some really, really cutting-edge potential treatments. In the CRO space in particular, supporting some of these new modalities like gene therapies and cell therapies is going to be really important. And it's very rewarding that we can be a part of this and a part of getting these therapies into patients.